as a Carolina Panthers podcast host, you know that I am all about the Carolina Panthers. That is where I spend every single ounce, minute, second. That's where my energy's focused, whether it's reading, listening. I'm not really writing, but listening to other folks talk about the Panthers, reading their work. That's where I spend my time, man. And it's kind of like you sit there and you're bobbing for apples, but you just never come up for air because you're head down. That's me with Panthers content, and it's how I've been since I started this thing, 18 months ago. But roughly 2 or 3 months ago, coming into this season, I decided to look at things a little bit differently. Didn't have a clear path outlined for how I wanted to explore this. But I said, you know what? It'd probably be beneficial to get to know the NFC South, right? Because we're playing the NFC South. We see these folks 2 times a year. Why not get to know them? So I started following the social accounts for these teams, getting connected to some other podcasts, getting connected to writers, reporters. And so there's good things. There's tidbits of knowledge. It's great. It's a breath of fresh air. It's funny. Before I did all this, I always looked at them as rivals and I hate them. And now, as far as the teams, yes, I want to win. But those that cover the team, the things surrounding it, it's nice just to hear how do they read things. And one of the teams that has really caught my eye is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And a lot of folks right now are going to be telling you that Atlanta should be lined up to win this division. And I wouldn't disagree with that. But what I will tell you is when I think about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I think about an organization that has run itself successfully. And this is in the kind of pre-Brady era, because that's what lured them into bringing in Brady, to the Brady era, and then post-Brady, how they've been able to sustain success. And a lot of that success, like from the outside, a lot of folks probably looked at this roster, which they did, and we did, and I did, and probably you, unless you're a Tampa fan, and said last year this is going to be the worst team in the division. And they weren't. They won. I think Todd Bowles has a lot to do with that. I think you could likely throw in Dave Canales, at least I'm going to as a Carolina fan, is part of that success. Baker Mayfield, the front office. But I think a lot of it is centered around how the team is built and what they have done. And I have to shout this out. So this is Greg Auman at Greg, Auman, tweeted this out. Is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, one, they got their roster down to 53 yesterday. So they were ahead of the game, not playing around. But when you look at the construction of their 53-man roster, he said, this is wild. He tweets this out. 44 of the 53 players on the active Tampa Bay Buccaneers roster were drafted by Tampa Bay, or they were an undrafted free agent rookie. Like 44 out of 53. I'm not good with percentages. I want to say that's got to be over 80%, 79%. I don't know. That is outstanding. Building your organization inside out through the draft. One, for the compensation piece of it, but two, just retaining players, keeping them in the building, developing them as they come along. It goes a long ways. And so I can only hope that what we are doing here in Carolina with Dan Morgan and as he's taken over, and we've got a few undrafted free agents and we've got some pretty good draft picks, that we start to see some of that success here. I don't mean to say see, but we start to see some of that success here in Carolina. But just wanted to call that out. So that's all I'm going to say for today. Y'all have a good one.